Welcome to MV Ranch. I am Mary and
I'm Mike.
all right, one of the biggest problems that we had was
We've not thought about building the house at all.
no.
I mean, really. I mean, we've been very good with one another and gotten along pretty much. But the one thing that we have had a serious discussion, and not really a fight, just serious discussion over, was the master closet.
He has his way of organizing and I have my way. And since I've been watching the Clutterbug, I'm like, hey, I'm a butterfly and I've got to be able to see things and put them in big containers. And he's like, I'm not a bug.
I ain't got nothing to do with any bug. I don't need no labels. I just need a rod and a rod. Shirts, pants, done.
Okay, so we have, for our 33 years of marriage, we have used mainly rods with a big shelf on top, and that's about it. And then our shoes are on the floor. And I didn't want the shoes on the floor anymore. I want to be able to vacuum without a lot of problems. And I needed some shelf or drawer space for some of the things that men don't worry about. Scarves, purses.
I don't have any purses.
Hats, things like that. So we decided to go with corner shelves, and because we've got our closet is going to have two corners, and then on each side of that and in the middle we're going to have the rods.
Yeah.
So he got a little bit of his way and I got a little bit of my way.
Whoa.
We compromised.
A little bit my way and a lot of area. Well, maybe I should say area, not way.
Well,
but that's okay.
I
don't
said
need a lot.
The one who has 75% of the clothing should have 75% rule.
Well,
but anyway, we did make our decision.
Because I just wanted it simple. 2 rods and a shelf on top of the rods. Pretty simple.
He has
but then when you get to the corners,
clothes.
You got clothes that go in this way and you got clothes going this way. One's got to give, which is the corners are going to be hers because all I need is about 4 feet and I'm done.
Girls are different. He's
but
learning.
That's all right. But the shelf idea, I could see the advantage for Mary because men, we have, well, in my case, I don't know about most men, but me, I have blue jeans and dress pants, and I've got dress shirts, and then I've got what I call my over t-shirts. My t-shirts I wear on a daily basis unless I'm wearing a Sunday shirt or something like that, and that's it. My underwear go in my nightstand. That's it. Now women have
dresses,
shirts, we have
slacks,
sleeve shirts,
jeans,
we have shorts,
dress pants,
we have anything and everything,
camisoles, undershirts, turtlenecks, caps, hats, purses, belts, scarves, mittens, gloves. It's not like I've got something for every situation either. I've actually have been cutting down my closet since before we started moving. I threw away or gave away, I actually donated. By now, I have donated maybe 15 bags of things. And that is just decluttering. So I am trying to figure this out. And I'm narrowing it down, and I'm kind of using the Clutterbugs thing. Clothes are bullies sometimes. When I wear something and it doesn't look quite right, I need to just give it away or do something with it instead of letting it really bug me or tell me bad things. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to look at it and do the, does it bring me joy type thing.
Shirts, pants, done.
So that's what I'm gonna do before the move. So how's the weather?
Well, for the most part, our build has been extremely good. We've been very, very blessed to have good weather. We had a little bit of a winter there for a short spell, but for the most part, we've been very, very blessed. And weather, there's a little bit of a frozen fog this past few days, but here and there, but nothing major. But we've been very, very blessed with weather on this build, and
this
fortunate.
Past week, it seems like every time we go to the farm and we see our builder, one of the first things that he says to us is beautiful weather, soaking in the vitamin D. He wanted to be outside during the time that the weather was nice so they could finish the siding and get finished up on the exterior. And that was a very smart thing to do because it has really been beautiful. And even the mornings when it's frosty, I've got some pictures of some of the frost. It's just gorgeous. It just glistens off of the grass and the sagebrush. So beautiful. So thankful.
Yep.
Speaking of siding, we started out this week and to the front porch. Part of the front porch was done and both of the sides were done except for the carport and the back porch. So that's where they started at this week. And you want to tell them what kind we got? What kind of siding we got?
Metal.
You see why I do the talking.
We have metal siding. It's not a true board and bat. It has like the bigger ribs sticks up square, and then it has some smaller ones, two stripes in the middle that are very small. It's more for rigidity than anything, but it from a distance looks like board and batten, and we really like it. Yeah. So he showed us an example on actually the lumber company we used. It was their house that he did for them, so we kind of liked it, so we decided to go with that. So it's been a good thing.
The vertical is so pretty. It's so pretty, and it just shines from the road as you're coming up. Looks so much different. We got kind of used to seeing that polystyrene, that silver on the outside, and now that the white siding is on there, every time we see it, we're like, whew, that's beautiful.
That's bright.
It is so white. Everything is white. Yeah. I've got white poles, white ceiling, and the only thing that I really have that's different is the black accents, and the roof. That's the way I wanted it. Yeah. So
we like it.
We love that siding.
Yeah, we like it. Okay, for this, I'm going to lead out on is my least favorite part about a house. In one way, I like it, but I dislike it. And by dislike it, I mean I hate it. When it comes to sheetrock, I love it, but I hate having to do the taping and mudding. This, for me, is one of the main reasons why somebody else is building my house, other than the fact that, you know, lack of knowledge on some of that stuff. But sheetrock is I don't mind hanging it, which, by the way, they took them 2 days.
2 days.
Just 2 days to do the whole house. Of course, that's not counting the vaulted ceiling. We got a different project there, but they got it all hung in 2 days, and they've started taping and mudding. But that's the one thing I hate more than anything, because it's an art to taping and mudding, because a lot of it, what I'd end up having to do is a lot of sanding, and I absolutely hate that.
Well, they right now with the sanding and mudding and taping, they've got, I know they've made at least 2 layers.
Yeah, 2 passes on
the whole thing, and it took them
2 days for
2
that.
days.
Yeah.
See,
2 days
I was
hanging, 2
expecting
days
a
mudding.
week, maybe. I thought I had time to get some other stuff done.
They're fast.
Not really, no.
They're fast.
So we're super impressed. In fact, one of them said, "Hey, Mike, you want to come tomorrow and help us with it?" And he went.
Nope. No way. Not
Because after he did our bathroom, and 2 bathrooms at our other house, and possibly part of the kitchen too, he decided that was a no-go, even though he's really good at it.
Well, like I said, the hanging the sheetrock's no big deal. But the taping and mudding, no. It took me one bathroom was indecisive, and it took us almost 6 years to get it hung and done because of, well, it wasn't just the sheetrock. But anyway, it took a long time to get that process done. And here, somebody's got to be in the picture.
He was meowing at us.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand what we're doing.
No.
Okay, so at the end of last week, they also didn't have, they had the lighting for the carport, and they had the lighting for the back porch done, all the pod lights, but the front porch wasn't done. So this week, they got the front porch lights in, and...
Well, they were waiting on lights, too, from us picking them up.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, part of that was our fault.
Yeah.
So they got that done. That was an accomplishment. All right. What about the vaulted ceiling? Well, the vaulted ceiling we bought, it's 11 feet floor to ceiling. So we're going to have a ceiling fan in the middle to kind of bring both rooms open concept together. And the paint stain, we chose, at first I used the stain on one of the car siding boards to find out if I was going to like it or not, just a test strip. And I shook it, and thought that it had mixed it up, and it looked like it has some kind of glitter in it, and I'm going, no. And it turned it a sickly dark color.
Looked oily.
So we went to the store and found some Polar Sky paint that we mixed very light blue. And we decided to do half and half with water and paint, 2/3 water and paint, or just 50-50. So we did that, and we tested it on the boards, and we decided that we wanted to go 50-50 paint and water, which turned into a very pale blue. It was almost white. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I mean, I wanted kind of the blue look to come out. That was the one colored alum that I wanted. So then our builder said, "Did you stir it?" And Mike went, "Well, Mary said we did." And I'm like, "Oh, actually, I shook it because I needed a stir stick." So
We tried it again.
we tried it again. Mike went in there.
We went and stirred it up because, well, first of all, I shook it. I thought, well, she didn't shake it good enough. So I shook it, opened it up, and it was still looked kind of
Great.
gray. And so we had a paint stick to stir. So I got out and I said, oh, yeah, well, that's the problem. We didn't stir it. Because as soon as I stuck it in, it was like sticking down in silt, in the river or something,
Our builder
So-
called it puppy poop. You got to get to the puppy poop.
You got to get the puppy poop stirred up in there. So we did. We stirred it all up in there and painted on it, and we like it back to the original plan because we were
Much
going to
better.
take all that back and then go with the paint. But we wound up going with that anyway. So we've got to get that job done next.
So I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the testing that we did. So while we were sitting on our front porch, relaxing, enjoying some of the sunshine, I told Mike, I said, "What is that?" And it was 3 planes in a row. And I wanted to know what kind it was, so I kind of did a close-up shot. And Mike says he thinks it's a
C-130 Hercules.
So with some research, I looked up the C-130s, and they were discontinued as of May of 2023. So we may have seen the last flight of these 3 C-130s. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're either the C-130s or they might have been the new replacement. I don't remember what you said they were called, but
I don't remember.
But they look a lot alike.
Yeah.
But
they're carriers.
Yep.
These are aircraft carriers that carry troops and machinery and stuff.
Henry's wanting attention.
Yeah. All right, so our road after the rain,
muddy mess. I had a bold statement before we had the winter weather and all the rains. I told my mother-in-law that our road was in better shape than hers was, and she kind of laughed at me. And I know why she was laughing at me now, because hers been there for years and settled. As soon as it got soft, and it was like riding, you had to have it 4-wheel drive in one spot in the road. But we've finally gotten that, hopefully, where it's a little bit better. It's still punky in spots where, it just kind of mashes down in. But we've got several loads of gravel brought in. And of course, our driveway is 1,900 feet long, so it's quite a ways, quite a bit of gravel. And so we've had I don't know how many loads we had.
7 loads so far.
We had 7 loads recently, but we've had some loads prior to that brought in too. So it gets expensive when you have a long driveway and it's gravel.
But he's part of that gravel for under his lean-to.
Yeah, on the side of the shed.
Some of it for the shop area in front of it, so that when we drive up in the shop, we won't get mud inside the shop.
Yeah.
And the walkway. So much better. So much better.
Well, we had some extra material left over from the exterior of the house. So our builder suggested with the shop, our walk door didn't have anything covering it. He said, if you want to, he said, we got enough material left over here. We can build an awning over that door. He said, it will help you because the exterior doors are notorious for rotting out at the bottom of the flooring there, or at the walls right there at the bottom of the door. So I'm being distracted by a cat who wants my every bit of attention. But anyhow, they went and put this awning on in front of the door, and it just really helped.
Yeah,
it
because
was a good deal. I liked it.
We could tell that it was already starting to show the mud splashing up from the ground, and so it looks so nice. And he was so gracious about it. He volunteered to do it. We didn't have to ask.
He got paid, but
yes, but he was willing to do the job. And that meant a whole lot to us.
It's gonna be very beneficial.
We decided to go with gas heat LP tank needed for our cook stove and water heater. So we ended up in a small town with a population of 46, and that would be
Hang on, we're not having an earthquake, we're having a cat attack.
Rivervale. And we found the nicest folks there that were trying to get rid of their LP tank because a new bridge is being made there. And the highway department has purchased a couple of houses, and one of those houses was getting rid of the tanks. And they ended up, there's a wrecker service across the road.
Yeah.
And
their neighbor was really helpful with that.
So sweet.
So he done it. He was going to do it for free, and I insisted on him taking a little money for doing it. But his old wrecker was old wrecker.
Yeah, we were wondering if it was really going to continue to run because it ran on propane as well, and I was like, wow, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is a very big. It's a 500-gallon tank.
And it had 30% in it, or
we
close
were
to it.
Trying to load it to our little trailer. We have a bigger one, but we had brought the little one. So I've got a few pictures and videos of the loading of the tank and getting it to the house and putting it behind the shop. And with just the two of us,
Yeah, we did. No problem.
I turned pale a couple of times, I can tell you, thinking that chain was going to snap and pop me, but it didn't.
It didn't. It's a pretty thick chain. It wasn't a little bitty one. So, but yeah, it worked just fine. We just, the tractor was probably big enough that if I'd had two chains, we could have picked it up, just set it where we wanted it. But with the tank having 30% in it, and plus the tank, its weight itself, I figured it's roughly around 1,800 pounds, which is the max on my little tractor to lift on the front end. And it could have done it. But to do it the safe way, what we done is had our pad there we made with concrete, or not with concrete, with gravel.
Yeah.
And then we put some concrete pads to set the frame of it on. But we just backed the trailer up to it. I picked up one end with a chain and kind of pulled it with the tractor back to the end of the trailer, set it down on this end, then moved the tractor around to the front, picked up the front end, and had Mary drive the trailer out, set it down, worked just like a charm. So we've got to do a little painting. We're going to paint it white and match the house, and paint the lid black to match the roofs. And then we got a little surprise we're going to add on to it later on, but we'll show you that when we get that accomplished.
Well, it's one of the very first things that you see when you're coming down the driveway. So I kind of wanted it to be cute.
When we get that done, we'll show it in a later video.
Yeah. And it also has about 30% gas left in it. Yeah. So we were extra fortunate.
Yeah, we were. It was a good purchase.
And
that way we're not dependent on any certain particular LP service. You know, we can get it where we want when it's convenient.
If the family from Rivervale is watching this, thank you guys so much. So helpful and kind. Yep. Appreciate you.
Yep.
This is where the gas tank is going to go. Okay, so we made an order for our flooring. We're going to use Life Proof.
From Home Depot.
It's going to be a dark walnut. And we also ordered our backsplash and our tile for our bathrooms. And so we were waiting on that to be delivered, and it was delivered on Thursday, which we were not there on Thursday. We were helping out some family members, and they brought it in on 2 different deliveries. one of the deliveries was on 4 pallets, and they put it in our shop, and our builder was there, and he said this was quite interesting because there is hardly anything left of the pallets once they got it in the shop. They had a lot of trouble getting it off of the truck and into the shop. So I'm thankful our builder was there to help us out. So the flooring is there, and one of those pallets was also the big tile for the bathroom. And then another delivery driver showed up at my mom and dad's house because they couldn't find us. And they asked Mom, "Do you know a Mary Vance?" And she said, "That's my daughter." So he said, "Can I leave this delivery here?" And she said, "Well, sure, I'll see her tomorrow." So really thankful for my mom and dad being gracious enough to let us store some things for our house for a couple of days. And so that is supposed to be the rest of the tile for the bathroom. I haven't even looked at all of it yet. And the backsplash, I'm kind of excited to see the backsplash for the kitchen, because it's supposed to match the ceiling, the vaulted ceiling. So that was our delivery for this week. And I don't know of any other deliveries that were made besides that. That was the biggest one that we had. Okay.
This silly cat.
He's seeing shadows. It's driving him crazy.
Partly blind because when he was found, he was malnourished. But he sees a shadow over there, and he can't make it out what it is. So he's back and forth, wanting to attack it maybe. So who knows what he's backing up? He's getting scared.
Okay.
Enough about the cat.
Anyway, he will calm down. It'll be all right. Our builder asked us what ceiling choice that we wanted for the rest of the house, because after they get through with the taping and mudding, then it will be the paint and our ceiling. So I told him I don't want popcorn ceilings, because at the Fairfax house, when we moved there, they had popcorn ceiling with glitter, and it was not exactly the Starry Night. So I don't want that. I said, and it doesn't have to be smooth. I want my walls smooth, but the ceiling can have some etching in it. So,
well, we'll end up going with a knockdown, which is
pretty
common anymore, is doing knockdown, but we want a light knockdown, not a very heavy.
Yep.
Just more or less just to help hide the imperfections of the ceiling, but which means that he's going to have to do more smoother job of making it all look right, but at least we'll hide some of the imperfections.
I didn't want to be too much of a pain. It didn't have to be so smooth, but then also I don't want it. Well, he called it cottage cheese, so I don't want cottage cheese on my ceiling. So and it's going to be white also, so
a lot of white.
Kind of makes a difference when you have white.
Guess what? The white
paint
continues.
Yes. But we're learning that there are whites, different kinds of paints, and different companies have different shades or tints of white.
White's white.
So they were trying to tell me about eggshell, that I could go eggshell, but in my case, I don't want any off-white at all. I just want pure white.
The eggshell is not so much a color as it is a texture.
Yeah.
But anyhow, you go to a paint store, and I'm sure every one of us has probably done it, but there's 15 different shades of every color. And in white, it's no different. There's 15 different shades of white. But we got a white house, a white shop with white walls in the house.
Yes.
A lot of white.
It's a lot of white. But as I've told Mike, the things that we add on the inside will take away from that white, because
The accents will hide it.
the accents will make a huge difference in if it's too bright or too dark. We have very white walls and a light ceiling, but our floors are going to be dark. So I've got the contrast going on. He'll understand it when he sees it. It'll be okay.
White.
So, and we did talk to our cabinet maker.
White cabinets.
Cabinets are being made. I was a little bit of a pain on that, but
No, she wouldn't.
I just had a certain thing in mind. And our trim, he was asking about the trim, so Mike and I are probably going to be doing the staining of the vaulted ceiling and working on the primer for the trim, and hopefully our interior doors will be in sometime this week. I'm hoping.
And guess what color they're gonna be?
White.
With
So
accents that are not white.
it's part of my theme, and it'll be
It's
okay
white.
because it goes with everything except brown.
White.
We've
White.
had, our other house was all earth tones and browns. So I wanted to get away from brown. I want something that has whites and blues and some of the pastel colors. I love the pastels. So we'll see. You'll get to see some of the things that I add to it. Appreciated you guys dropping by and seeing us at MV Ranch.
Putting up with me. Like somebody else has
We
to.
love you. And we hope that you will like and subscribe. We've got a few more subscribers, and we appreciate those. Thank you. And if I am later getting videos out, we have some that keep asking us, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
So you guys are prompting me to keep going, which is a good thing, because I'm getting kind of tired. I get weary by the end of the week, because we're driving back and forth.
It's a 180-mile round trip.
And by Saturday, I'm like, man, I want my day.
Yeah. And
So
then Sunday's the Lord's Day, so we're going to be at church for that. So can't miss out on that, because
No.
that's the start of your week.
that's the
Starts
best
you out
part.
right.
And by the way, if you are looking for a church to attend in Southeast Missouri, please go visit our friends and family at Slicer Street Church of Christ. If you live in our new home area in Northeast Arkansas and you need a place to go and visit with family and friends, this is a very small church with no more than 25 people. They will be so happy to see you. Please go to McElroy Church of Christ.
Services start at 10.
That's right.
And
Slicer
for
Street
Slicer
starts
Street at 9.
9.
Me and her was talking about that this morning when we were laying there in bed getting ready to think about getting up, to think about getting ready.
Yeah.
I said, "Did you realize once we get to McElroy, we'll get to lay around in bed for an extra hour just waiting on the class to start, which might not be a bad idea."
Woo-hoo!
But no, seriously, if you're looking for a home church, either one of them be glad to have you.
That's right.
And until we see you next time, bye-bye.
God bless.